Logan Paul is a YouTube powerhouse with a staggering 6 billion views and 24 million subscribers to his name. One area where Logan found the most success was in his comedic music videos, which some garnered nearly 300 million views.
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know, Frank. I just haven't been feeling inspired lately.
But Logan wanted more. He had aspirations beyond being seen as a mere comedic sideshow and sought to establish himself as a serious musician. With this goal in mind, he embarked on a nearly 2-year journey in 2018 to become the next big pop star. However, in 2020, after completing his breakout album with a huge musical producer, Logan Paul quit music for good, leaving his fans wondering what happened. Did Logan come to the realization that he wasn't very good, or was it the $1 million lawsuit against him for stealing another artist's music? Logan Paul originally gained his popularity on Vine by posting comedy sketches and prank videos. By 2014, Logan had dropped out of college and moved to LA to pursue a career full-time as a social media influencer. At one point, he was the 10th most popular person on Vine. During this time, he started posting Vine compilations to his YouTube channel, which would bring him millions of views. As with most Vine stars, Logan started to focus mainly on his YouTube, as that's where all the money was. Plus, Vine was slowly dying and ended up shutting down completely in 2017. In 2016, he started daily vlogs of him just goofing around, comedy sketches, and pranks. But also that year is where his music career began, when he posted a song at the end of the year called 2016. This song talks about what a terrible year 2016 was in a very goofy, obnoxious kind of way. Let me just say, this song is terrible. Not just the subject matter, but the song itself. I tried listening to it now recently and it's painful to get through. But to be fair, this was his first song, and you should hear some of my first songs. You'd rather be stuck in a room with Freddy Krueger and some chalkboards. But Logan's first music video did get 15 million views, so it kind of worked for him. During that time, he suggested a potential interest in pursuing a music career, but he proceeded to create lighthearted songs with comedic skits in his music videos for the next few years. This was a very similar approach as to what many YouTubers were doing, and it earned him millions of views, even earned him a platinum record too. These music videos became the most viewed videos on his channel ever. He worked with many popular bands such as Why Don't We, and he also collaborated with Designer. In 2017, he really started to ramp up the amount of songs he would release. In total, it was 6 songs, and he also released a couple diss songs towards his brother and even Santa. These songs are a little bit better, but I'd say he's basically just imitating Andy Samberg's The Lonely Island Band. One of the songs he released in 2017 would come back to haunt him in the future, but more on that later. Also during this time in 2017, Logan would release a video that not only changed the course of his entire music career, but his entire life. At the end of 2017, Logan released a very controversial video of a deceased man who just hung himself in a forest in Japan. The video sparked outrage everywhere, and this could have been the end of his channel. Logan found himself losing sponsorships, getting his channel demonetized, and YouTube put his channel on probation. He even got sued for $3 million by a production company that he was making a movie with called Airplane Mode because they had to shelve the movie and couldn't release it. He then made an apology video and took a 3-week break from YouTube to reflect.
Lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. So what we came across that day in the woods was obviously unplanned.
It was during this break from YouTube that he started to reflect on his future. Logan is very ambitious and smart. He realized at some point he would no longer be able to make the videos he was currently making, as no one would want to see a 30 or 40-year-old guy just making childish prank or skit videos. He knew he needed to mature and had to change his image away from being seen as a child and needed to be seen as a professional. So he posted his last vlog 2 months later in April of 2018, as he wanted to move away from vlogs and focus on what would be his next venture. It was during this time he tried many different things. He became a boxer, with him announcing his first fight in February of 2018 against KSI, which was set to premiere later that year in August. He ended up making his podcast Impulsive just a little bit later, with his first episode uploaded in November of 2018. But also during this time, he decided to quietly work on what would become his new future venture, the thing that would take him from the obnoxious goofball to the mainstream. He set his path on becoming the next big pop star. He started taking music very serious. He began taking singing lessons for over a year to prepare for his venture. He stopped releasing any more of his Lonely Island ripoff songs, with the last being released in March of 2018, which was probably already recorded and filmed months prior. He got with a famous producer from Sweden called Rami, who has worked with such artists as Lady Gaga, One Direction, NSYNC, and many others. One of Rami's first songs that he ever worked on was Britney Spears' first major single, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
I had a little run with attempting to make music. Like, you definitely don't know this. I wanted to be like a singer at one point.
Oh, really?
Dog, I flew to Sweden. I made a EP with Rami Yacoub. I don't know if you know Swedish.
Of course,
Yeah.
I know Rami very well.
Yeah.
Logan would travel back and forth to Sweden working with Rami. By mid-2019, they had finished 6 songs together that Logan was really excited about. Now he needed to start planning his release strategy. He started working on music videos, planning his touring schedule, and getting ready to release this onto the world as his new path forward. But then by the end of 2019, just before his release, something happened. Logan quit. So why did he quit? He was very excited about becoming a serious musician and was ready for this. Well, multiple things happened to him during this time that turned him off from music. Remember that song I mentioned that he released in 2017? Well, it came back to haunt him in 2019. Back towards the end of 2017, Logan Paul released a goofy music video called No Handlebars, which instantly became plagued with controversies. First, people criticized it for its perceived sexual objectification of women, including a scene in the music video where Logan Paul rides several women like a bicycle. One of the girls in the music video was interviewed, and she said she was never told prior to the shoot she'd be ridden around like a bike. She just showed up on set and Logan told her what was going to happen. I definitely became uncomfortable when he wanted to just get on my back like that, because it's rare that you're on set and they just throw something at you. Con artists do things like that. She went on to say that she felt used and victimized when she saw the final product. The next controversy came a month later when it was discovered that he stole the song from the rap group Flowbots. In fact, the Flowbots were so heated over Logan's parody that they dropped a diss track on YouTube in December of 2017, where they called his cover a stupid white rap and even appeared to find his lyrics misogynistic. Flowbots frontman Jamie Laurie criticized Logan for both the sexist lyrical content of the song and for the unauthorized use of the sample, calling him the face of douchebag entitlement. They hoped they could come to some type of agreement between them and Logan, but it seemed that never happened. So in May of 2019, Flowbots decided to sue Logan Paul for $1 million for copyright infringement. They called the lyrics of Logan Paul's rendition nearly identical for 4 successive bars. And that's not all. The group likewise argued that Logan directly copied the song's trumpet riff and melody, and hoped to gain an injunction against the YouTuber, as well as the profits he made from the song. Shortly after, Logan took down the song off his YouTube channel. The case was most likely settled out of court, so we won't know exactly the amount Logan had to pay Flowbots. But if you remember, right before the lawsuit, Logan was so excited to be finished with his new album and was getting ready to release it. He was even talking about how excited he was to tour.
Yeah, I think we walked away with 6 songs. I think a couple of them are really, really good.
That's so awesome.
Thanks.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. I can't imagine like going on tour. That's gonna be crazy.
I mean, you have the fan base to do it.
But I think this lawsuit made him rethink his career choice. It probably soured him towards the idea of music. At this point, Logan Paul gave up on the idea of music. Even though he had a finished record and music videos for the albums in the work, he decided just to end it. This wouldn't be the first time he had given up on a project halfway through. He recently got into a lot of hot water with taking millions of dollars from his fans for CryptoZoo, then abandoning that project. But in regards to music, he said his heart wasn't in it, and spending all day in the studio isn't something he really enjoyed.
But it didn't work in music. I did not have the it factor. And another thing I realized is, like you said, I'm more of an on the field guy. I like the traveling. I like, getting my hands dirty, and sitting in the studio all day was tedious for me. It was really taxing, and it is truly a different type of grind.
Logan released 2 more comedic music videos in 2020, but hasn't released anything since. It appears that his initial interest in music may have been driven more by the success of his music videos than a genuine passion for the art form. While he saw the potential to capitalize on his most viewed content, the controversies, the lawsuits, and the lack of true passion for music seemed to have taken its toll. It's possible that Logan will release music in the future, but it probably won't be a priority for him. He's clearly more interested in his successful podcasts and other ventures than he is music.
I will admit he spent hours on it. I'll never forget the day he quit, because you would think it would take him a long time to quit. But one time he's showing us a music video, it didn't even let us finish. He goes, all right, fuck this, I'm done. And I was like, done with this song? He goes, no, I'm just done, bro. He's like, this shit is not for me.